おはようございます。皆さんおはようございます。JCC マイアミの、日本語クラスを始めます。Good morning, everyone. We're going to be starting the Japanese class. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to be connecting on Facebook by the phone. So if you have any questions or thoughts, you can put that down. So hope everybody's doing well. So for every class, we have been looking at hiragana first. So far we've been going through hiragana here. It's already been a few weeks, so we did IUEO, right? Starting that. The line of ka, ki, sa, ta, na. So ka, sa, ta, na. We finished those lines. So we've been reviewing or learning first 25 characters in hiragana. Today we'll be looking at ha, hi, fu, he, ho. This one here, ha, hi, fu, he, ho. You've gone out already, right? So you can see the pronunciation of this line on is ha, hi, fu, he, ho. Right? So actually this, put it down here. How to draw. That's right. Ha, you start with the left and have this left horizontal line and then go down and with a little circle. He is one stroke. Start from the left and go to the right. Who you don't have to connect this part, or you can connect it, like you can write in either way, it's okay. Who, start from the middle, go to the left, and then right. Then he is one stroke, start from the left, go up and down. He. The second part, second dimension is longer than the first one. And the last one is ho. Start from the left. It's similar to ha, but you have the little bar on the top that like top it, right? So start from the left, have these two horizontal line, and then go up and down with a little thing. So you don't want to go above that line, above this horizontal line, the first horizontal line. So you have this sort of topping it like this. Ha, hi, hu, he, ho. So if you speak Spanish as a primary language, you might find this JA line might be like more natural to you. But in Japanese, when we write in Romaji, we write hahi hu he ho with HA, HI, right? And then hu is different, FU, hu, right? He, ho. So that's how we write. As a suggestion, so that you can better remember how it pronounces, depending on what you prefer. So the word using those hahi hu he ho, I have less than usual today, but it's a little. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes a little bit challenging. But so the first word is hana. Hana. Well, actually, it's two different things, completely different things, which is very interesting. Sometimes that happens for other words. So it could mean flower, hana, or nose, hana. It's actually the same intonation, but you wouldn't use hana, nose, and a flower in the same sentence. Or you can at least distinguish through what you're talking about. Also, kanji is completely different, which you don't have to worry about right now, but it could mean either. I mean, it could mean both. Hana. So that's using ha. So the hi, hikui. Hikui. Hikui means low. High means takai. But hikui is lower in the heights, like not the price. Right? Because like takai, the opposite word takai could be expensive and high, like high as a height. But hikui means lower in position, or your height is low or lower, then you can say hikui, say like hikui, something like that. So hikui, low in height or position. The third one, futsu, futsu. So I have to choose a word that use the hiragana so far, so that limits a little bit. But futsu is ordinary or normal. It's like, what do I even draw here? So I didn't. But ordinary life, 普通の人生とか、普通の一日、ordinary day, 普通の一日、or 普通の人, like normal people, normal person. You can use it either way. So that's 普通. And the fourth one is 下手. Could mean a couple things, but what I wrote here is not good at. So 私は something なんとかが下手です。So 下手. That's the fourth one. And the fifth one is 欲しい. 欲しい. To want. 私はペンが欲しい。ね、私ね、I、ペンが欲しい。私はペンが欲しい。I want a pen. So that's just an example, to want. And you can see the Japanese has different order. Things is like I, pen, want, but we'll be learning about that. So that's Hahihu Ho for today. I will be creating hiragana quiz of what we've learned so far, so you can kind of refresh your memory, maybe study a little bit, so that we can continue moving forward with it, because there are a few more, and then there are variation of hiragana you've already learned. So I wanted to talk to you about one of the events. So I think one of the things we wanted to maybe mention in class sometimes is if we have like a major holidays in Japan or something cultural, we will mention that because it's not about language only, but learning about the culture. So January, here we have Martin Luther King Day, but in Japan, I mean, of course New Year's too, but recently, I think the Monday before this, we had a seijinshiki. I put it here. Seijinshiki. I mean, we write it as seijinshiki, but when we say it, it's seijinshiki. So it's a ceremony. Shiki is ceremony of person, becoming a person. That's what it really means. Becoming a person. What that means is seijinshiki is to celebrate when somebody becomes 20. So the first Monday of the January every year, we celebrate those who are turning 20 to have a big celebration, because I know different cultures have different age to consider being adults. But in Japan, at the age 20, you can vote, smoke, and drink. So that's sort of a tradition. There are other, I mean, you can drive and not younger than this age. But, so they might be talking about changing some of the things. But traditionally, the 20 years old is when they consider becoming adults. So they celebrate, and what do? Usually had a picture. Girls put kimono. You can see the one with the long sleeve. That's for girls who are not married, typically. They wear this pretty kimono and then have this huge like celebration with a whole bunch of those who are becoming 20 and sort of celebrate together. Of course, we did it differently this year, like less crowded situations, but typically like whole city or whole county or we don't really have county, but whole municipality might do things to bring all the people who are becoming 20 to do this like huge ceremony. Also, they do individual parties and things, but you can see it's very fancy. Some of them go to like a temple shrine, things like that. So that's sort of like what happens in January. I only took pictures because I wasn't there in January when I became 20. I was in the States, but I returned in summer and took a picture to remember, I guess, this day. So it's exciting. They all look very pretty and stuff. So that is the seijinshiki, what it's about seijinshiki. No, I forgot to show you the video of hahiheho, how to draw. Sorry, I already talked about seijinshiki, but let's see the video of how to draw hahiheho. So that sorry, it's back in order, but let's see. Here you go. I made this 75%, so it's a little bit slower than the regular speed. Okay, so ha starts from the left and right, top to bottom, little circle. That's ha. Ki is one stroke, start from the left. Big circle, half circle, and then like that. This one is separated. I think that's good. Start from the middle, top, down, left, and right. Hit. This is also one stroke, like he, but very different from the left to right. Okay. And then ho. That's the last one for today, from the left. Ho. Left to right, and similar to ha. Alright, so here you go. That's all. You got this. Okay. So now back to where we left off. Now we will look at the Bible. Today we will be looking at Genesis 41 and a little on that area. Genesis in Japanese is Soseiki, which you've learned all the hiragana here. Soseiki. 41章. 41, right? Chapter 41. Okay, so what happened last week, right? So we'll be using this book, my little Jesus storybook Bible. Joseph, we've been looking at Joseph. He was sold by his brothers. Well, I mean, they trapped, and then he was sold and went to Egypt. He got blamed on something he didn't do, so he was in jail. That's when we left off last week. This week, that's this. So, what happened this week is we have two main characters this for today. One is Joseph, which is Yosefu. I think here we have it, Yosefu. That's Joseph. And then we have Pharaoh. Sometimes you see it as Pharaoh, the Pharaoh. That's the king of the Egypt. エジプトの王様のパロ。Egypt, we had Egypt as a country last week in one of the 丸ごと lesson. エジプトの王様のパロ. The pharaoh who's the king of Egypt. So those are the two people in today's story. So the pharaoh saw a scary dream, had a scary dream one night. So scary dream is 怖い夢. Yume is dream, kawaii is scary, and maybe you've heard this, but kawaii is scary. Kawaii is cute. So kawaii is scary. Kawaii is cute. When I say it, maybe it doesn't sound similar, but it could sound similar depending on how you say it. So you want to be like, careful not to offend somebody. Just kidding. But so the pharaoh had a scary dream. So what dream? What was a dream? So it was about cows. Ushi. It's about cow. Ushi is cow. 痩せ細った牛が太った牛を飲み込む。痩せ細った牛が太った牛を飲み込む。Whoa, that's scary. Because the cow, 痩せ細った is like thin and skinny. So the cow who are skinny and thin, 飲み込む is swallow. Swallow, 飲み込む. Nomu is the drink, but 飲み込む is like swallow, put it all the way. So God, this is a subject. The first part is subject. So the thin and skinny cow swallowed 太った牛, fat cow. 太った is fat. So the skinny cow swallowed the fat cow. That's it. Like, what is that? So Pharaoh was like, scared. He was scared and he didn't know what to do. And somebody remembered that Joseph could interpret the dream. So he told Pharaoh, I know somebody who can interpret the dream. So Joseph was brought to the Pharaoh, and here it says, ヨセフは説明した. ヨセフは説明した. Joseph explained. 説明する. 説明した is a past form of 説明する, like to explain. So Joseph explained. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the first one he said is, it's not me. God tells you about Pharaoh's future, or Pharaoh's what's going to happen to Pharaoh. So this is from Genesis 41:16. I cannot do it, Joseph replied to Pharaoh, but God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires. So this is what Joseph said. 私, right? 私 is I. 私ではありません. So it's not me. ありません is negative. 私ではありません. It's not me. 神 is God. 神がパロの幸いについて告げられるのです。So 神 God. So the last part is a verb. God will tell. 告げる is like tell, but sort of like coming from him. It's not a simple say, but it's more like that will come, let's say, but coming from like higher person like God. 告げる, 神が告げる, right? That God tells about Pharaoh no幸い. It's a fortune of Pharaoh is probably the direct translation of this. But what's going to happen to you or what he desires. So Pharaoh no 幸いについて、ついて is like about Paro no Sarah. It's like about Pharaoh's fortune. So Joseph said, it's not me. God tells you about your what you desired. So saying that, so Joseph made sure that he made it clear to Pharaoh that it comes from God through Joseph, right? So what he said is going to happen is this. Oh, this is big. So what he says here is there won't be enough. Oh, it means a famine is coming and there won't be enough food. Okay, so that's what the message is about the cow. So もうすぐ here is soon. もうすぐ大飢饉がやってきます。もうすぐ soon 大 is like big. 大飢饉 飢饉 is a famine がやってきます。やってくる is like to come. So soon a big famine will come. そして and I know my soul is a little weird, but そして、soon and then 食べ物がなくなるんです。食べ物がなくなるんです。食べ物 is food. が is like the, making the like subject form, right? 食べ物がなくなる to be gone. 食べ物がなくなるんです。So the food will be gone. So soon the big famine will come and all the food's going to be gone. So that's what the dream means. So after that, what happens? The Pharaoh was so pleased by Joseph's skill and his wisdom, and Joseph was out of jail, and he became a role like next to Pharaoh to rule the country. Okay, so and then at the same time, the famine was everywhere. A couple years later, and Joseph's family elsewhere also had a problem with no food. So what's going to happen next is, we'll continue looking, but even in the jail, Joseph continued to trust God, even though the situation is not the best. Probably for a long period of time for Joseph, for something that he didn't do, he was blamed on, but he was in jail. But eventually, he had opportunity. God provided Joseph opportunity to present himself and do something for the Pharaoh. So Joseph's out of jail, and now he's serving as sort of the high rank in the country. So Joseph maintained his faith, and God has a great plan for him. But you will see even greater plans in the next few weeks. So, all right, we'll continue on next week with this. So next, we will look at Marugoto textbook. So we've been looking at lesson 3. We've looked at like what is your occupation, what you can speak, sort of saying greet for the first time, like my name is like something, nice to meet you, right? Like 私はゆいです。はじめまして。どうぞよろしく。So we look at things like that. This one, number 4, it's really asking me to identify where the name is placed in each business card. So once you take a look at it, you might be like, oh no, like there are a lot of Japanese, like some people like automatically stop looking when you see something that's not familiar to you. But if you look closely, every business card had some sort of English characters, English letters. So you don't have to be like scared, I guess. I mean, some people may not, which is good. So number one, for example, you see the name here, Takeda Hitoshi. Usually we have the last name first, and then your given name second. That's how Japanese our Japanese use our names. So that's how it presents in a formal business context as well. So his last name is Takeda, and his last name is Hitoshi. And the other thing is, Japanese usually don't have middle name. Like my son has a middle name because we couldn't, but I don't have middle name, so that's very typical. You don't have two last name. You don't have two, first and middle name and things like that. So just so I know. So his last name is Takeda. So his Takeda-san. You really don't see anything else that's readable. Well, some katakana, and also you can see the homepage of his company. Well, actually, he works for a city of Niigata, the city of Wakaba in Niigata, which would be hard to know if you can read kanji, because you can see address here in kanji and some letters and phone numbers. Probably now we will have email. Sometimes you will see like one side Japanese, all Japanese, and then the other side of the business card all in English, which will make things easier for us, right? Because then one side it's all the letters you know. But this one has a mix, and he works for the sports or citizen and sports department of the city hall. And you might recognize sports here in katakana. Number two here, this one, okay, this is kanji, but because it's bigger, maybe this is something important. As a suggestion, that's just a guess. But here you can see the bigger one as well. So Masako Ochiai, right? This is the lady's name. And how do I know it's a girl? Because Japanese, when the name ends with go, that's typically a girl's name. I know Spanish has different rules, but my name doesn't have ko. So not all the name has ko, but if you see ko at the end, yeah. I have many friends whose name has ko at the end. So that is one clue, but if you're getting the business card from somebody, you might already know the gender of that person. She's at the Tsubame Foods marketing department, because probably it's in English. The first name is written first, and this is the last name. And the other one, so this one is zip code. You see this little symbol, that's a zip code symbol. Address, cell phone, and email. You can see those. That's number two. Number three, you can see instructor on the bottom here of the country. Yamada Yuzo. So Yamada is the last name, and Yuzo is the first name. Similar, this is Japanese school, so you can see ABC Japanese school. This is what that is. And some of you might recognize Nihongo here in kanji. Gaku-in. So this is gaku means to learn, so something to learn, to do with learning. But you can obviously see this in English. It's a Japanese school. Similarly, you have all this information about contact. And then the fourth one, this is very simple because you can only see his name, really. the phone number. So his name here is Sekiguchi Nao. Sekiguchi Nao. So Sekiguchi is the last name. You can see in all caps, and Nao. Maybe gentleman. I think it's gentleman, but it could be a lady. Some names are gender neutral. But some of them names are obviously for men or women. And then he works for engineering company, which if you know katakana, you can see engineering here. Engineering, but otherwise it would be hard to know. So those are some of the example of meshi. Meshi is a business card. And the last part, this would be something that you would do with your classmates, or you can practice on your own, or your family, friends who are learning Japanese and speak Japanese. Putting things together. This is how you can give the business card to a Japanese person. You can see here, はじめまして. Nice to meet you. はじめまして. Kim です. My name is Kim. Kim です. どうぞよろしく. どうぞよろしく is Japanese way of like you use an introduction along with はじめまして. Would be kind of corresponding, like please help me out, kind of, because there's really not a direct translation of that, but どうぞよろしく. And then this person says, はじめまして, same thing, はじめまして, nice to meet you, 野田です. I'm 野田. My name is 野田. 野田です. どうぞよろしく. どうぞよろしく. So it's similar in some format. You just need to place your name, はじめまして. 松田です. That's my last name. どうぞよろしく. Okay, so you can say a little bit more formally, which is here. はじめまして。佐藤と申します。申します is like making, I think, putting you down to lift people up, but it's a way of respecting a person. どうぞよろしくお願いします。どうぞよろしくお願いします。So お願いします is like making it polite, right? Because the top here is どうぞよろしく. This is okay, but if you know that you want to be more formal, it would be safe to say どうぞよろしくお願いします. Okay, so it's longer, but I think it's worth it. お願いします. お願いします. Okay, so we can do that, and you can see here, which I notice every time, think about the cultural difference. When Japanese people give business card to somebody, regardless who that person is, they use both hands. With this little card, they use both hands and give it to you. And just, here, it's like, here you go. Or you don't even put it out, you just put it on the table. It's very casual. So it's interesting to see, they even bow to you. Like here, this is my information, this is myself, nice to meet you, with a lot of respect. So you might want to also do that when we don't do things the way Japanese people do, if people know that there are different customs, I don't think people easily get offended, but you don't know. So if you know what Japanese people would do, or maybe imitate, how they give the business card to you, then it shows them respect. So I think it won't hurt to be respectful, especially for the first time. So that's lesson 3. Now we're going to lesson 4. 第4課。家族は3人です。家族は3人です。So 家族 is family. 家族は3人。 1、2、3、3人です。人 is to count person, you put 人 after the numbers. 家族は3人です。So, the example of composition family composition. So you can see this here. So a terminology for the family member, family members. 私の家族 my family. 私の 私 is me, right? 私の家族 so this is my family. So in relation to me, 私 what are the names that's on here on the bottom of each picture? 私 so here is 母 You don't call her haha, but when you're presenting about your mother to somebody else, you refer her as haha, politely. So my mother is haha. Chichi is my father, chichi. Right? We might have heard the okasan. That's you can call them that, but in the formal context, if you use that little okasan to describe your mom and dad, that's not the best. But if you're talking with your friends, you can refer to them. You know, your mother, father is okasan. That's okay. But so haha and chichi will be the formal word of saying my mother, my father when you describe others. So the siblings. Watashi is here. So we have different terminology, very different terminology for brothers and sisters, older brothers, older sisters, younger brother, younger sister, they're all different words. I didn't create this. It's much easier in English. I know. Ane. Ane is the big sister. Ane. Ani is big brother. Ani. Ani. Okay. And little brother is ototo. Ototo. Imoto. That's little sister. Imoto. That's this one. So, 私には弟と妹がいます。So, I have little brother and little sister. Right? You might have the other way. So that's that. This one in the blue box, that's not in relation to watashi. If, let's say, I'm the mom, the haha, I call my husband otto. Watashi no otto, my husband. Right? If I'm the father, I'm this person, chichi, I call my wife tsuma. Tsuma. And they refer their children as kodomo. They refer their children as kodomo. If you make it plural, you can say kodomo tachi. There's a word for son and daughter. Musume is a daughter. Musuko is son. Musume is daughter, right? Musuko. I'm putting it down. Musume is daughter. Musuko is son. Okay, here it's in the chat box. So that's in like I'm referring to my son. Watashi no musuko. If I have a daughter, I don't, but if I have a daughter, and I'll say watashi no musume. Right? So that's how you can describe your family that way if you have children. So So this here, what's under this little scrap notebook thing. This one has the way to write, describe a number of people. But so if we are referring one person, which is possible, yeah, okay, here. Okay, one person, 一人. Two people, 二人. So remember who? He is here when we looked at today. 二人 is 二人 who is here. And then if it's three, 三人. So it's irregular. If you know that how to count in Japanese, this is irregular. One and two, one person, two people are irregular. Kind of just have to memorize. But after that, you basically have to put number and nin. 三人, 三人. 四人. 五人. 六人. Then 七人 or 七人. Either one's okay, depending on how you count seven. So, because you're describing number of family members you have, including yourself, this is showing us how to count each number of people. So now we have this picture, this drawing, actually it's not drawing, it's a picture of different family picture. See one, this is actually A on the top right. So you can see A is watashi is this girl, and then maybe mom and dad. B, watashi is this gentleman, and there's somebody else here, the lady, maybe wife. C, let's see. Let's see, is this watashi is the mom, dad, and two kids. D, watashi is this young lady, have sibling, maybe grandparents, and mom and dad. And then E is watashi as father, wife, and three kids. So now we'll listen to something, and you can hear based on the description, the family member they talk about, a number of people they mention. You want to figure out who the narrative is referring to. So you have these 5 pictures of family, different. So let's see. Audio is here. I don't know if I can do this at the same time. It's giving me a hard time. I'm gonna do that and see if I can do it from the 2 screens. Bear with me, because I can't see 2 things at the same time. So I want to do the audio and yeah. Okay, maybe this works. All right. Okay, so number 1.
1、私の家族は3人です。父と母と私です。
Okay, let's listen to it again.
1、私の家族は3人です。父と母と私です。
Okay, so you heard how many people? 私の、let's break it down.
1、
number 1.
私の家族は3人です。
Okay, so she said 私の家族は3人です。So my family, we have 3 people in my family. So that alone kind of gives your answer already, right? Because there's only one picture that has three people in. But here, what did she say? What else?
です。父と母と私です。
はい。So, 父と you can see there's only three, right? Your 父 is father, 母と私です。So, you have father, mother, and me. So the answer is A, which is already filled out here. So now, let me make it bigger so you can see, because now we don't have to worry about A. But let's see number 2. You still have B, C, D, E. 作ったの？すごい。挨拶するの？ごめんね。落ちちゃった。OK。おはようございます。作ったの？すごいね。はい。あれなんか入れてる。OK。じゃあ、number 2。
2、私の家族は4人です。私と夫と子供2人です。
Okay, let's listen to it again. So she says number of people first, so and then who they are, like the similar structure as the first one.
2、私の家族は4人です。私と夫と子供2人です。
Okay, sorry, I don't know if it was interrupting. He was repeating watashi. I, right? Okay, so let's break it down. Hopefully you can hear.
2、私の家族は4人です。
はい。私の家族は my family. We have 4人, 4 of us. 4人, which is only one in a picture, right? That we don't need. That has 4 people in a picture. Okay.
私と夫と子供2人です。
Okay. So, 私と夫, remember here? 何? So, 私と夫 is a husband, right? 夫、子供2人。何? Okay, so 私と夫と子供2人。This one. So number 2 is C. 何? ゆうちゃん? So how about next one, number 3? So the answer is C. Number 2 answer C. Okay, next one.
3、私は6人家族です。父と母と兄と姉と弟と私がいます。
Okay. So let's listen to it again.
3、私は6人家族です。父と母と兄と姉と弟と私がいます。
Okay, I think I said it wrong. But let's listen to it closely.
3、私は6人家族です。
Okay. 私は6人家族。So, I have 6 people in my family. 6人家族。So, 6 people. We have only this one, right? D, but let's keep listening.
父と母と兄と姉と弟と私がいます。
Okay, so this was a lot of people that she mentioned.
父と
Okay, 父と
母と
Okay, 父と母とね。So you have the, this is 私。So 父と母と
と兄と姉と
兄と姉。So, 兄と姉. This is 私. So you're going up. 兄と姉. So they're older. She has older brother, older sister. Okay.
弟と私がいます。
弟。私がこれだから、弟 is younger brother. 弟。そう、弟と私。Sorry, I said something different. But, okay, number 3 is D. So, number 4, let's into it.
4
私は5人家族です。私と妻と子供3人です。
Okay. So, listen, we only have B and E left. Okay. So it's not a lot to choose from. Listen to it again.
4
私は5人家族です。私と妻と子供3人です。
Okay, were you able to hear this okay? Listen, break it down.
4
私は5人家族です。
Okay, 私は5人家族。5人家族です。I have 5 people in my family.
私と妻と
Okay, 私と妻と。So, you can see that this is only one with the 5 people in the picture. 私 is the father, so it's wife. Is right. So it's here, 妻 is a wife. 私と妻と
子供3人です。
子供3人。子供3人。子供 is a children, right? How children? 子供3人。So that is E. So number 4 is E. Let's do number 5. Even though we know the answer, because this is a B is only one left, but make sure that we got the term, we can hear, right? So it's a comfort because you already know what the answer is.
5
私の家族は2人です。私と妻です。
はい。Let's listen to it again.
5
私の家族は2人です。私と妻です。
Okay, so break it down. Let's break it down.
5
Go, 5.
私の家族は2人です。
Okay. 私の家族 my family is composed of 2人 2 people. This is a regular one. 2人 2 people. 2人 right? 2. Okay.
私と妻です。
私と妻です。私 because 私 is the gentleman here. Relation to like his wife, he's referring to his wife. So 妻。私と妻です。Right? So that's how answer is B. So we've done this through this page. As a practice, you can practice describing your family. For example, 私の家族は here I'm reading it. Let's make it here. Here, this one, number 3. 私の家族は3人です。私の家族 family 家族は3人です。3人。父と母と私です。父と母と私です。Because this girl is talking. She's talking that I have dad, mom, and me. 父と母と私です。My case, 私の家族は3人です。私の家族は3人です。Same as this girl. 夫と息子と私です。夫と息子と私です。So my husband, right? 夫。This one. 夫 my husband, my son. This only refers as 子供 but I mentioned earlier and put in the chat box. Son is 息子。私と息子と、sorry, 夫と息子と私です。So I'm listing as my husband, my son, and myself. Because they're in different orders, okay? But I put myself at last. 夫と息子と私です。How about your family? Maybe you can describe your own family, talking about your family in Japanese. Maybe I'll put that in a little quiz. So I'll be posting a quiz on this comment section of this archive. And we will keep moving with the hiragana mamimu, right? Now next week, we'll continue with Marugoto, with the Joseph story, all that we do every week. So thank you so much for joining. We'll have Bible study starting at 11 or a little after 11. You can view by Facebook Live, or if you want to join in a different way, contact me. But I hope that you'll be able to join us as well. Thank you so much for joining this class, and I will see you next week.